Hi everyone, Miss O'Connor here. Hope you all are doing well despite having to stay indoors. It's a beautiful day. I noticed while taking some walks some flowers coming up despite the snow, and it made me think of an artist I know of named Azuma Makoto. And this artist isn't one that you normally think of. In fact, this artist deals a lot with flowers. So thinking of flowers in new ways. In fact, they'd call this work with flowers a botanical sculpture, botanical meaning more flowers and plant related, and sculpting these in new ways, not just the way you would think of when you go get flowers for your mom for Mother's Day, or maybe picking flowers for a bouquet for your table. Instead, this artist does some really interesting things with them, like he has made iced flowers before and actually have launched a bonsai tree into space. It's pretty crazy. But thinking about this artist and how he can transform these very natural things, I decided that I would like to do a drawing with you, inspired by Azuma Makoto. And I'll put more resources about the artist available to you as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pen here, but you're welcome to use a pencil. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line going about midway up my paper. This is going to be, in a way, like a horizon line, but instead of seeing complete land and sky, it's going to separate the roots from the flower, the top part and the leaves. The bottom part, the roots, are just as important as the flower top here. And if you excuse me, my dog is getting into a wrapper. Lovely. All right, so now I have drawn my horizontal line going across. I can start now using different kinds of shapes. A lot of these are going to be inspired by flowers you'll see in nature. So I know above ground is where we're going to start seeing those leaves. So for instance, I can draw a leaf shape, maybe a line inside of it for that crease of the leaf. Now, these are not perfect. It's okay. These shapes come from nature, so it's all right that they're not like very geometric. They can flow. They can look very abstract. I mean, it doesn't have to look exactly like what you want it to. Now, on the other side, I can also add another leaf, another line. I can build on these and overlap, meaning some are in front of others. To make this look very interesting, you're going to want to overlap or place other things on top. So let's see here. Now that I have this, I think I might want to add maybe one more leaf over here. And now I can also be very realistic with this, or I can think out of my imagination and make it more like space themed, or maybe a flower I've never seen before. So I'm going to come up. I think I'm going to start drawing a sort of stem and add kind of a sideways leaf. I'm thinking of birds of paradise, this one. Now those kinds of flowers are not native to Maine, but it actually looks like a bird, the way the flower grows. And I think I can add some other details to it as well. I think that maybe I can have another stem come up. Make it very flowy. Oh, and this is my dog Elvira. Excuse her, trying to go for the wrapper again. All right, now that I have this, let's see, maybe I can start adding what looks like leaves, but when I add a whole bunch of them, it's going to start looking more like a flower. Repeating these shapes, hiding some below others, having others peek out behind. Now I have a pretty big blooming flower on top. But I think I'm going to want some other ones. And I am actually going to look to my reference photo from our artist to see examples of other types of flowers. And I really like this kind of bumpy one that comes out. Again, this does not need to look perfect. The more crazy and intricate and detailed with different kinds of flowers, the more interesting your picture will be. In fact, I really like kind of this funky flower coming out. Maybe I can make it look like it has buds coming off of it too. Going behind those leaves maybe. Maybe I can have this kind of funky shape down here for a flower. Maybe have a smaller one below. Doing some really wiggly lines, seeing what else I can come up with. Kind of like this shape coming up and hiding behind here. Maybe I can also have almost triangle looking shapes happening. And coming all the way around to make it look like this funky flower happening over here too. Very abstract. And of course I can add some stems behind if I want to. When I feel like I'm all done with this part, maybe add some extra leaves, making it go now outwards versus just upwards. I can now add something to my bottom. Now you might be thinking of what would be like a bulb for your plants coming down, or maybe you start drawing the roots. Now this is my favorite part. Using different kinds of organic lines to try to show the roots in all the different ways they interact with each other, almost knotting together. This part should be as interesting as the top. Creating lots of lines mixing together. You can have some that come off to the side. Maybe adding some around on top of each other. Look how cool that looks. Now, of course, I've been using this marker to show you, but at this point, you can trade off to use color, maybe crayons or pencils if you have them, markers, or if you have used thick paper, maybe you would like to watercolor this. Make it look like this is the ground or water that your plant is suspended in, and up here you can make your flowers very colorful. It's up to you. Feel free to be as creative as you want with this, but I really do want to try to see the below the roots being just as organic and important as the top flowers. Let's see what you guys can come up with. Feel free to share it with me at my email, and I can put it up on our virtual art gallery on my website. Have fun!